Okay, so what does climbing Kilimanjaro in a wheelchair and writing a book have in common? Turns out more than you think. Both are long and exhausting and exciting and ridiculous, and both will test your patience and resolve and mindset and make you question your life choices and wonder if anybody's even paying attention, but also testing your ability to just keep going when it feels impossible. So 10 years ago, I summited Mount Kilimanjaro in my wheelchair and I wrote a book about it. I want to share 5 similarities that I've learned, because whether you are writing a book or climbing a mountain, tackling whatever challenge you're facing right now, these lessons, I think, matter and may be helpful. Similarity number 1 is one step and one word at a time. On Kilimanjaro, literally, you take one step and it takes everything in your being. And there's no rushing, no sprinting, no getting ahead of yourself. It's just steady, intentional action and progress. I think writing is the same. You can't just sit down and instantly have a book. You write one thing at a time, and it's one word, one chapter, one page at a time. It's really not a glamorous process, I feel. With Kitty, people always talk about the beautiful things and the most amazing, and it's the greatest experience. But it's a grind, and it's hard, and it's not glamorous, generally. But progress is progress, even if it feels really tiny and like you're not moving forward. You have to just remember that you are. Okay, similarity number 2. Unexpected things happen. On the mountain, things go wrong. The weather changes. Your body has a moment and decides to not be cool to you. Equipment can fail. My wheelchair froze on Kilimanjaro. We were not prepared for that. Things happen. So in writing, it's not really that different. I think you start with a plan for the book and the story and the structure, and then suddenly you get like a brainwave or you get on a roll, and now the story is different, or you have a timeline in mind. I'm not great with timelines, sticking to them, so that's fun. But I think the big lesson in this is having a goal. It's important to have a goal, but to not hold so tightly onto the first plan. Whether that's with the book or with the climb, things are inevitably going to change, and usually those changes happen exactly how they need to. So if you want to see some of the lessons and some of the ridiculousness that happened on the mountain, you should probably check out my playlist of 10 years ago today for little stories that you'll find in the book. So that leads to similarity number 3, mindset and energy management. Climbing Kili is not just a physical experience. I think sometimes mindset matters more than muscle and what you've physically trained for. Often your mind gives up before your body does, and So you have to conserve energy, you have to be intentional and stay invested mentally when your body is like, nope, let's go home. That happened a couple times. You have to pull yourself back into the intention. With the writing of the book, I think it's the same. It's not just about having time or like all the software and stuff that you use to write. It's about mentally getting in the game and dealing with self-doubt and the fatigue and the questioning that comes with putting your story out there. There's a lot that you have to manage. It's physical and emotional and mental. It's all rolled into one big bundle of eventual greatness, but I think balancing all of those things can be the hardest part of either of these experiences. Similarity number 4 is celebrating the small wins. Obviously, every step that you take on Kilimanjaro is a win and a privilege, but every camp that we got to was a victory. It's not the summit, but you're closer to getting to the summit and making that big moment in your life happen. And you have to be excited and proud and enthusiastic about those successes, because that's what builds momentum when you're feeling bleak about things. So the book as well, every finished chapter, every word count milestone. I don't really work with word count milestones, but like every chapter finished, every story finished is a win, and we get excited about small wins over here. If you stop celebrating them, then you just feel a little bit like this is never gonna end and I'm never gonna reach this point. But we will, and we do. You just have to look at the baby steps, and those keep us moving forward. Okay, the last similarity, number 5, is this summit is not the end. I think people forget this often. Summit is the thing that we focus on when you're climbing a mountain. We have to reach the summit. That's what we're doing. That's why we're here. We forget that you still have to get back down the mountain safely and successfully. It's a whole different mindset that you have to get into. It's the same with writing a book. You finish the book and you're like, whoo, go me, I did it. We are champions of like the author world. But it's not the end. There's still like editing and publishing and marketing and sharing the book with the world so that people can actually read the story that you spent so long working on. The peak moment is super important and powerful, and like you should take the photos and celebrate that moment deeply, but it's not the whole story and it's not the full journey. And sometimes the work that comes after the summit is just as hard and equally important. So, climbing a mountain and writing a book about it, way more alike than I ever expected. And I think climbing Kili and doing that whole journey and having that experience gave me some insights into writing the book about the journey. And both require patience and resilience and mindset and just keep going when it's hard. If you want to join me on my book journey, don't forget to subscribe and check out the link to order Tuko Pamoja, We Are Together, my Kilimanjaro story. And yeah, let's do the things.